What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Evolved by Experience podcast. As many of you guys know, my name is Jendy.
My name's Joey.
And here on this podcast, we speak about literally everything life, where we evolve through our experiences and learn and grow and are able to essentially become the best version of ourselves.
Many of you may know, we both come from backgrounds that many people kind of use to their disadvantage, I guess you can say. We tend to use it to our advantage. So we're here to not only continue to help ourselves improve and grow and kind of recognize things that we're going through in life, but also maybe spread some knowledge or spread some positivity to some other people that are in the same shoes or have been through the same things and are trying to get to the same places or similar places that we're trying to go as well.
And that's literally it, man. We're just here to try and create the most impact and be the most relatable we can, because we've been through a lot of the things that a lot of other people have been through. Mm-hmm. And we know what that feels like, but it's never, ever an excuse. It's only fuel to the fire and motivation to be able to get to that next level. Which leads to our topic for today, which is money, success, and mindset.
Very important things. Without the money, you can't really do anything in life, right? Yeah. You can't survive nowadays. The way rent is and just the economy in general. Like, you can't do anything without money, right? Mindset. If you have a bad mindset, where are you gonna go in life? You have no hope. You have no desire, no drive to really do anything if you don't have the proper mindset. Yep. And then as a result of those two things, you kind of get the success out of it, or bits and pieces, and it's kind of like compound interest when it comes to that. So 3 important things that kind of are in the same world, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no, 100%. And back to that money thing, it's like, as much as we kind of don't want to make money the center of what it is that we do, the things we do, you can't deny that it's a very important one, because like he said, man, I mean, to even be comfortable, to even feed yourself, feed your family, to even have a roof over your heads, you need money. To put gas in your car, to purchase a car, you need money. So as much as we don't want to have that be the focus, you cannot deny that that is something that you really, need to put a lot of attention towards, because at the end of the day, it's going to be very, very hard to, kind of have, success without the money, without having the foundation to be able to propel you forward.
They say money doesn't buy you happiness. Well, a lot of people say that. Some people they do say money buys you happiness. I'm not here to debate or disagree with anybody when it comes to their opinion or belief upon that. But I do believe that it plays a big role in happiness. I'm not going to say money is the only thing that, produces happiness, because it's not. And if you just have money, you don't have other core values and other things in life that are kind of filling your cup, if that makes sense, and you're not filling other people's cup, then you probably won't be happy. But you also can't have all these dreams and aspirations in a nice big family and have no money to put food on the table. You know what I mean? Or you can't be one of those parents or one of those families where you're never home because you're constantly working. Realistically, there's people in life that do have those type of lives. God bless them and how they are able to maintain that. But me personally, I'm not going to set that as a goal for myself. You know what I mean? I want to be around my family. My dad wasn't around because he was an air marshal. Great job. You know what I mean? Traveled a lot. He loved it. But he was never home. You know what I mean? So it's like sacrifices, at the end of the day. I do believe it plays a big role, and I feel like, the more financially free you are, the more likely you are to obtain that happiness by doing different things. I'm not saying you need a Bugatti to be happy, but you definitely need to be comfortable to be happy, for sure, because you can't be financially uncomfortable and unstable and expect to just be holly jolly, because at the end of the day, that's a lot of people's main worries nowadays is money. So it's very important.
Yeah, that's true. And money really is, it's a tool. It's something, it's a tool of life. For example, you're going to go build a house. How are you going to build a house with your bare hands? No hammer, no nails, no wood. Like, those are all tools and equipment. Money is the same thing for life. Money is a tool to build a wholesome life. It's not everything. For example, you really can't you technically can, but you can't build a solid, sturdy house with just a hammer, right? Yeah. Same thing, you can't build a wholesome, full life with just money. Like you said, you need to have other areas in your life that are kind of filling your cup and allowing you to be happy overall.
So to dig a little deeper into these topics, we have a few things written down to dissect and kind of dig a little bit deeper one by one on these subcategories upon the topic. So, Jendy, do you want to give us our first statement?
So the first statement, you're not broke, you're just undisciplined. Now, this is short, but it's a heavy one. And it's true. You know, a lot of people that are in bad situations, it's not that they don't make enough money. It's not that they don't have enough money. And it's not that they're incapable of making the type of money that they want to make. It's more so comes down to them not being disciplined in their day-to-day actions, them not being disciplined with their money, them not being intentional with how they spend their time. And all that comes down to discipline, right? We all know if you want to make more money, you got to work on yourself, right? The better of a person you become, the more money you make, right? If you're not working on yourself, how can you possibly make more money? At least money that's gonna, long-term money, right? We're talking about longevity here. We're not talking about no quick buck that you make on the street, on the corner. Okay, we're talking about money that's long-term longevity that's gonna be on repeat, right? You need to work on yourself to be able to get there. That takes discipline. When you get there, you gotta keep the money. That means don't overspend. That takes discipline. When you get the money, not only do you have to keep it, you have to multiply it. Now you have to learn. You have to educate yourself. What does that take? Discipline. So it's very true, right? You need discipline in order. You need discipline in order to not be broke. You know, and a lot of people aren't necessarily broke. They're just undisciplined. You know, and it's the sad truth. But you know, a lot of people kind of get carried away. They don't realize that all the money that they spend on the small things, bro. Even if you just spend, let's say, $5 a day on a coffee. Imagine what 5 times 30 is, right? 5 times 30 is $150. It's $150 a month that you could be saving rather than spending it on a coffee, right? And yes, we're talking about small amounts, but I'm sure there's many of you that probably go out every single weekend. You spend a couple $100 every single weekend.
You be in this section talking about something. Yo, Don Julio.
Yo,
that ass though.
Yo, that section just popped the bottle. Now we gotta up it.
I've been there.
Nah, I mean, listen, we all have, but it's like,
it's just like how often you making them choices though is the question.
You know, it's like not saying don't have fun. You know, you just gotta. There's a fine line that you kind of walk between having fun and not being stupid with your money. You know, and that's something that you kind of got to figure out for yourself. Everybody has to figure it out for themselves, right? But it's a really fine line though, because you're very close from either kind of being not having much fun and kind of living a boring life and kind of being like, damn, like my life sucks kind of thing. Not really, but you get what I mean. And then on the other hand, it's like, oh shit, I'm spending mad bread. I got to chill, you know? So it's a fine balance. You know, you kind of find that for yourself and your income and your budgets and whatnot. But, you know, when you really, to go back to the point is like when you really break it down and let's say you're spending, let's say $500 a weekend, that's 4 weekends in a month. That's extra $2,000 that you could save every month. In a 6-month time period, that's an extra $12,000 in your bank account that you could save every month. You know, and or even if you cut that in half in 6 months, it's crazy. You know, and it takes a lot of, you know, discipline. Definitely does, especially when you're young. Your friends are going out. Yo, bro, we out to the club tonight?
Facts.
Yo, bro, we out to this spot tonight? Yo, bro, it's only gonna be like 300, bro. You good, bro? Yeah, okay. Right, but it all adds
it's
up.
been times though. It didn't seem like we making it seem like that's not sweet. It been times that we like, you know what, fuck it,
yeah,
right, 300, I got it.
Word,
You know what I
like,
mean? Yeah, no, it's been times, but that's the thing. Like that's the more you choose that, the more you're gonna fall off, type of thing. You know what I mean? To kind of continue on with what you were saying, I feel like with the whole like question or the whole statement we have, right? I feel like an issue that I've had in the past a lot is the fact that I've had a goal, and I'm sure many of you have goals. You want to be a millionaire, you want to own this, you want to do that, whatever the case may be. You have a goal, but you have no strategy or like blueprint behind that. You know what I mean? And that's where I failed a lot of the time, is the fact that I've had the goal. It's easy to say, I want to own a boat. Now, how the fuck are you going to get the boat? You're just going to stand around and expect the boat to come to you? And that's kind of like where I've been. So in ways, I feel like that's majority of people's problems. You know what I mean? I feel like, you could probably agree to this. I've been there many times, yes, where I've never moved towards the actual goal because I didn't know how to get there. I kind of just set the goal and was like, all right, yeah, like I got a goal. Like that's what they told you, like, oh, make goals in life and set your top 5 goals in the year. I have 5 goals in the year. End of the year, I still got the same 5 goals the next year because I didn't know how I was gonna do it, you know what I mean? I just knew I wanted to get them done. So it's just more so that everybody knows what they want, you know what I mean? But they don't know how to get there pretty much. And also to add on to what you said about the club thing, I feel like a lot of people want to look more than they want to be, if that makes sense. So Like, people don't understand that, like, you can look as rich as you want. You can put on a great show, but at the end of the day, that show that you put on, just know you're gonna have people waiting to see that show continue, and once you can't continue it, everybody gonna laugh at you.
And on the flip side, you're gonna have people waiting for the show to stop because they're hating. You feel me? And then
that's a fact.
And then that, you know, shit like that. There's both sides to it, but that's a fact. I mean, there's one thing, like, you could put the show on, and you might be really good at putting on the show. You might fuck around and have the show you might put on the show for months, years, but just know there's gonna come a time where you will not be able to keep putting on that show.
Facts.
And when that time comes, it's not gonna be fun. And I'm not saying that from a perspective of people that are gonna think you're broke. I'm talking about you as a person are not gonna have fun. You're gonna be
disappointed.
You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be stressed now because you gotta worry about bread. You're gonna be fake depressed because it's like, damn, I just went from having money to not having money. Like, and we all talked. You know, we spoke about this in the last episode.
Yeah.
You know, we've been there, so it's like, you know, we're speaking from experience, right? Like, it's just what it is, you know, and life lessons that you kind of got to learn, but you kind of want to learn these things sooner rather than later. And it's way better to actually have these things within you than to have it look like you have it to the rest of the world when you really don't. You know, it'll provide you better profitability, I could say, in the long run, you know, to be able to do that.
The thing is, realistically, I would rather pop my bottles and put on my Instagram stories when y'all got 6 kids, you know what I mean, by the time you're 26 years old, nothing, you still working at the gas station, you doing nothing. I'd rather pop my bottles in them periods versus now, you know what I mean? And now, like, before I didn't understand that, but now I understand it a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, with the way, like, I structured my life up until this point, from the time I moved out to now, I could do what I want when I want. You know what I mean? Not to say, I'm not even necessarily saying financially. I'm not fucking rich. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, there's nobody watching over me. There's nobody telling me I can't go to the club Monday through Sunday. You know what I mean? There's nobody like, I can do what I want to do. You know what I mean? It's not that I can't. It's just the fact that, like, I have to make smarter choices. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of people's issues. Is like, you're here for the moment. You're here to have fun for now. You live with that YOLO lifestyle. You know what I mean? And it's cool to live like that. I love living like that as well. I'm impulsive as fuck. So, like, I'm the same way, but at the same time, there's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? A lot of people get that fucked up, and then they live in La La Land for a couple years, and then next thing you know, you're fucked. You already done dug your hole too deep. It's now what you gonna do? Ain't nobody coming to save you, bro. That's a lot of people's issues. You put on this show for everybody else, and you want to look like this and that, and then when it come down time to it, like, who's coming to save you? Nobody coming to save you, bro. You ain't getting no money. Nobody's handing you nothing. Nobody's coming to bail you out. Nobody's doing none of that. You could sit here and tell me, oh, my mans or this, my shorty, my whatever. Okay. Like,
Okay.
How many friends, like, how many people you went to school with throughout the years, you told them you loved them, you my boy, that you still that close with right now? I guarantee there's probably very minimal that are still around. Very minimal. You feel me? That's just how it goes,
just
bro.
How life goes.
Yeah, I tell my siblings, I tell everybody the same thing. Like, we never listened to our parents growing up. Well, we listened to them, but, like, we didn't believe what they said.
We didn't want to.
Yeah, we didn't want to listen because we thought we knew everything. But, like, that's one thing that I could vouch by now is, like, bro, you'll realize ain't nobody coming to save you, bro. When it really comes down to it, if your parents are still by your side, that's great. Those will be the only people that come and save you. Other than that, bro, them friends and them people that you in the club with, or you putting that show on for, whether it's a girl that you never even spoke to, she just watched your stories, whatever the case may be, you'll learn eventually, bro. And that's where it all comes down to, like, the mindset. Like, do you want to live like that for these couple years and look like you're doing good, and then you struggle for the rest of your life? Or do you want to live that boring life? And don't get me wrong, it can be boring, but it's not always boring, bro. Like, you fall in love with that grind.
Like, and that's really where it comes in. Like, you fall in love with that grind, that journey. Like, and I saw this thing the other day on Instagram where it was like, the people that think the things we like are boring are the ones that'll never be where we're at because we think what they do is boring, meaning that our personal development, our grinding, our staying inside and learning rather going out is boring to them but fun to us. But then vice versa, on the ones that are really focused and locked in, the going out, the partying is boring because all you want to do is be locked in and doing something productive. That's why it's more important when you said freedom earlier. That's why it's more important to have more discipline, because when you really have the freedom to truly do what you want, when you want to do it, the discipline is more important. It's very easy to do the right thing, like he said, when your parents are on your back, when your teachers are on your back, when you got all these people watching over you, you got your boss telling you what to do, keeping the structure, right? But when you have true freedom to where, nah, if I don't want to do that, I don't have to. That's where the discipline really comes into play. Because, I mean, at least for me personally, when I first experienced that freedom, I remember the day where I finally, my last day of work, bro. Like last day I ever worked a job. You feel me? I started doing the car stuff full time out of my driveway. First few weeks, I was locked in. You know, I was hustling. I was like, yo, no, I really got to make this work. Got to make it happen. Right?
That was motivation.
Motivation. But then the motivation disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, bro, now I'm waking up in the morning. I'm like, man, I don't want to work on these fucking cars. I don't want to touch no cars. I'm trying to be outside. I'm trying to go to the city. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm not trying to work on no cars, right? And it would be very, very hard to force myself to get up and go do that, right? Sometimes I would want to just stay in bed with my girl, chilling, watch a movie. I didn't want to do nothing, you know, like. But that's where discipline comes into play, because if you allow yourself to give into those feelings, those wants, right? When you have that true freedom, like if I said I didn't want to go do it and let's say I didn't do it, I never did that to my customers because I always believed in customer service, right? And making sure that if I set an appointment date, I would show up. But in an event, let's say that I didn't, all I would have is somebody that'd be like, oh damn, that sucks. Maybe not come back to me, maybe rebook. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to take away my job from me. Ain't nobody coming to take my bread. Ain't nobody taking me to jail. Ain't nothing gonna happen if I ain't do it.
It was easier to fuck off.
Yeah, it was mad easy. Ain't nobody gonna stop my.
You start to take them L's. You're like, you know what? If I don't get up right now, what I'm gonna lose? $50? Fuck it, I get it.
Yeah, fuck it. Like it don't even matter.
Like, yeah,
bro.
I be the same way.
So it's like that's why the discipline really comes into play, because it's like, bro, yeah, it's not even about the $50. It's more so showing up for the business. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And showing up for you, because at the end of the day, that discipline is what's gonna carry you. You know, because you're not always gonna wake up motivated, and those days be the hardest. And it's crazy, because as time goes on and I've learned, bro, I know when I'm not feeling motivated, and I know in my head I'm like, damn, I really don't feel like doing this, and I know I don't feel like doing it, and I know that if I don't do it, I'm gonna feel like
you will feel like shit.
Feel
even
like
worse,
bro,
yeah.
even
How
worse.
many times? Look, this right here. How many times have y'all woke up in the morning, right? Your alarm went off. You like, yo, I'm gonna get up at 6:30 tomorrow. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go for a run, or I'm gonna just wake up. Period. You ain't even gotta do all that extra shit, right? I'm gonna just wake up tomorrow early. I've been sleeping in lately. We just wake up, right? Then you wake up, and then you wake up. You look at the clock. You're like, damn, 6:30. I ain't really got nothing to do right now. Or nah, fuck this. 30 more minutes, an hour more, whatever. Boom, 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 right? Reset the alarm, you go back to sleep. Whether you wake up, don't set another alarm, whatever it is. Whatever time you wake up, whether it's 15 minutes past that, an hour past that, 2 hours, most of the time it's more than that, right? It's a longer period. You wake up, now your whole day fucked up because you're depressed and you feel like you wasted a day and you should have just got up at 6:30 like you woke up originally. You know what I mean? It's not like you ain't wake up, like you woke up, you chose to go back to sleep. Now you mad depressed, bro. I lived that life for 6 months, 7 months straight, bro, depressed every day because I kept snoozing alarm. And I'm doing it, like I'm thinking about it as I'm doing it, bro, and I know I'm about to be fucked up after. And I still do it. And then I wake up even more fucked up and I'm like, bro, why did I even do it to myself? Like everybody do it, bro. The thing is, like, you just it sucks, but you gotta go splash that cold water in your face. Easier said than done, but you feel me?
Gotta just do it. And that's why, man, doing the small things matter, man. Like he just said, it don't matter if it's 15 minutes or if it's an hour, right? Subconsciously, you just told yourself that I'm not worth getting up early. Whatever I wanted to do, I'm not good enough to do it. You may not literally be telling yourself that, but your subconscious mind is picking up on these cues. Whenever you see, for example, whenever you look at your bed and it's undone in the morning and you got some time to do it and you're like, nah, fuck it, I don't feel like doing it. You're subconsciously telling your brain, nah, the little things don't matter. Right?
You're making it okay to
making
do
it
stuff
okay,
like that.
exactly. But and that's exactly where most people mess up, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If, for example, if your room is messy and dirty and unorganized and you have time to clean it, and you sit there and be like, nah, I don't feel like doing that, and you go do some other shit that doesn't even matter like that, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that your finances are probably also messy. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that your car is probably also messy. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that your relationship with your family and your girl is probably messy, right? Because why? Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
It's a fact.
Right? Like you gotta take care. Everything comes from within, man, and that's the biggest thing, right? Comes from within. You have to be good yourself, right? And that means taking care of the things. You got to take care of your health, your hygiene, your mental, right? And all of that kind of goes together into forming a wholesome life and a happy life and being able to pour onto others, right? Like you just said earlier, you got to pour into your own cup so you can pour into others. How do you pour into your own cup? By taking care of yourself, right? And how do you take care of yourself? By doing all the small things that a lot of us overlook, right?
Facts.
And if you're wondering why you're sad, why you're depressed, why you're not motivated, it's because of that. Because you're not doing the small things that subconsciously tell your mind that you're worth it and that you're able to do them things, right?
You're not, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you go ahead.
I just thought about what Jason said, right? You're not allowing yourself the little wins. You're continuing on like chasing these big wins, right? These big goals, but you don't have the strategies built up. Like I said, you're not allowing yourself to check the boxes on the way there to get to that bigger box. You know what I mean? Like, you're not allowing, I don't know, any type of like positivity in your life. Everything's so negative. Everything is, oh, like, I didn't make my bed today, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You're never gonna fucking do what you wanna do. You know what I mean? It's just never gonna happen because you're not allowing yourself to win at all. And the thing is, nobody's just gonna wake up the next day and be like, fuck yeah, my business made $2 million. You won't have no LLC, you won't have no business, you don't have nothing. Like, you're not gonna wake up like that overnight. Like, you have to check the little boxes. Go open the LLC, go open the bank account, go talk to a tax strategist. Like, go do these things to secure that big win to where you can be making $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is that your goal is. But if you can't allow yourself to win, you're never gonna win the bigger game, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but
it's never never an overnight success. It's always first comes the idea, then the planning, then the foundation, then the small wins, then the big wins. It's never something that just kind of happens, right? And throughout that whole process, guess what you need? Discipline. You need discipline.
I'm like,
bro.
what do you need, Jendy?
You need discipline. If you're not disciplined to go ahead and take care of these things, man, like, bro, imagine people think, oh, the more money, easier life is gonna be. No, it's
life
not.
do get harder.
Life gets harder when you get more money because you got bigger problems. You need more discipline. Because now your fuck ups are gonna be even larger when you have more money. You're not fucking up a little $100 now. You're fucking up a couple $100,000 now. That's why you need the discipline to keep yourself in line. That's why you need the discipline to even get to these points. And that's why when you do certain things and get to that point that you want to get to, don't stop doing the things that got you to where you wanted to be. Don't stop doing them because that's where you fall off, right? For example, body, you're working out, you're straight, you shred all the fat, you got a 6-pack abs. As soon as you get your abs, you start eating like shit against that working out. What you think is gonna happen? You're gonna lose your abs. And that's it's the same thing in every concept in life. You cannot stop doing the things that got you to where you want to be. You gotta keep going. Even once you reach that goal, keep going.
Facts.
If you want to maintain, keep going. Discipline. That's where the discipline comes in. It's too important. You cannot accomplish anything worth accomplishing without discipline. You can't. And that's why it's so important to continuously take action, right? Which leads us to our next statement, which is if you're waiting to feel ready to take action, you're gonna be broke forever. Because I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, you will never be ready. You will never feel ready. You gotta just take that leap of faith, especially when you're building something from scratch, when you don't come from much. It's very, very rare that you'll be fully ready to go ahead and start a new endeavor, right? You gotta kind of just do it, take action, little by little, figure it out, go through the trenches, and kind of figure out what it is that you're trying to do, right? Because if you wait until you feel ready, for one, that's emotion. First topic we talked about was discipline. Put the emotions aside. You know what got to get done. And second, you can't give in to that. If you feel ready, what does that even mean? Define feel ready, right? Because I bet you that if you define what does feel ready mean, by the time once you check all those boxes of what feels ready, you're gonna have a couple more things that you need because you don't feel ready. It's a constant cycle, right? And that's what leads people to being broke forever. You gotta take action. Gotta go. There's no time. Let a fire under your ass and go. Literally.
Nice. I'm the same way. Nah, I was one of those, like, I set goals and never knew how I was gonna get to those goals. I just set them and expected them to kind of come to me. And they never fucking, I'm just gonna let you know, they ain't never goddamn, no goal then walked up to my door and knocked and be like, yo, like, what's up? I've been looking for you. Like, nah, that shit don't happen, bro. Like, you're not gonna, like we said, everybody says the same thing. You're not gonna wake up overnight with a whole new, like, outcome. It's not gonna work that way. It just doesn't happen.
You wanna know why you did that? I kind of was like, I'd be self-reflecting a lot, and that's one of the things that I kind of came across. Bro, this is for both of us. As y'all, if y'all really be watching our episode before, y'all will know that we were some A students back in high school. But keep it a buck, bro. Did you really try in high school?
Fuck no. I ain't study. I never studied.
I never
Me too. Studied.
Never studied. God blessed the both of us with beautiful brains and we're very smart, intelligent young men.
I still fuck
right?
up.
And you know, obviously we do dumb shit. It is what it is. But in school, right? We got them A's. We got them 90 averages. Didn't really study. Didn't really try. Did everything last minute. Somehow got A's. played sports, had a bunch of extracurriculars, right? And I feel like that's where that kind of setting the goal and not really trying, having it come to us type of thing comes from. Because when we were in high school, literally, we went to school for 12 years, bro. 12 years we went to school, 13 years. The whole time we didn't really have to try. It just came to us, right? The wins just came to us. We just, all we had to do was show up, and they came to us. And I feel like that's where that mindset comes from, right? Where it's like, wow, we set this goal naturally.
It's also the discipline behind it too, because you have to be there. Like for us right now, we don't have to be here doing this podcast.
We don't.
You know what I mean, we choose to be here. That's the difference. Like with school and shit, CPS coming to the crib, you don't go to school. You know what I mean? Like, you got no choice. So it's like, it's not only did it come for us easily, but like it was more so kind of forced upon us too. It's expected of us.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like right now, it's not expected of us to be doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm not for nothing. You're definitely right about that. I feel like that's very true. Like a lot of things kind of just started coming.
You have to switch that mindset.
Pause on that. So yeah, bro. Nah, I definitely could see that being like my thing, and that's like my biggest thing of like my biggest factor that I'm trying to snap out of right now. I guess you could say like my biggest thing, just because, like I said, with no systems in place, you're never gonna be able to check those boxes. Like, you don't just turn on the fucking electricity when you install like a whole new grid in somebody's house. You know what I mean? Like you got to do your tests, you got to do everything, you got to check the boxes along the way. I mean, not to beat around the bush, there's really nothing to beat around right there. Like there's nothing else you can really say. Don't wait around, bro. You got to get up and you got to go, because if you don't go do it, somebody else is gonna go do it. And I done seen before we started this podcast, I done seen so many people on the internet, and I'm like, bro, this dude is fucking retarded, or like, I've had my judgments, my opinions, right? Whatever the case may be, everybody does, right? You might see a famous girl on Instagram or whatever and be like, how, like, I look better than her, or whatever the case may be. And it's not even necessarily that it's always viewed as that, but it's like, if he could do it, why can't I do it, right? Like, he came from nothing too, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? Or he came from something, I did too. Whatever, however you look at it, is like, if they could do it, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? And like I said, if you don't want to do it, it's going to be somebody else that's going to do it, and you're going to sit there and you're going to watch it, or you're going to see somebody else do what it is that you're trying to do, and you're going to be like, damn, like, you're going to start hating. You're going to find reasons to hate. It's just basic as what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you see, like, I used to be the type, like, I would see all these streamers and all these influencers and all this and that. I'm like, bro, this dude is corny. Like, the Soldier fucking Island Boys.
I don't even know.
The brothers with all the tattoos and shit, the eagle on their forehead and shit.
Nah, I have no idea.
Okay, whatever. But like, bro, it's all these people, like, they do it just because they stepped out the box. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I like the way they did it, but like they just went and did it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't sit around waiting for.
They didn't wait for an okay from nobody. They just said, "Fuck it, do it."
But you got another statement for us?
Yeah, facts. You know, that gotta just do things, right? And to kind of get to the place where you want to be, right? What do you need? You need to give attention to the things that matter, right? And attention is literally currency. And unfortunately right now, if you look at people's screen times,
nasty.
That shit is
nasty word.
Crazy.
Nasty word.
And I know it's crazy because I'm one of them. And I'm working on it right now. I actually downloaded this app. It's called Opal. And it actually blocks apps out for you on your phone. Yeah, so you set times. And essentially what apps you want blocked at these set times, and it'll block it for you. So every time that you go and, let's say, try and go into that set app, it'll block it for you. And it's cool because it gives you like some motivational shit to read when you try and press the app. I'll actually show you right now, because I have my Instagram blocked. I have my Instagram blocked in the morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I have Instagram, messages, Safari, YouTube, all that shit blocked in the morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I just want to spend time with me. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see no messages. I don't want to see nothing. In the morning, that's just, you know, kind of just me to kind of get my mind right, set myself up. If I'm working out, I'm working out, undisturbed, right? And then in the evening from like 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., I have my Instagram's blocked, so I'm not spending time on Instagram. But if you see, if I try and look up Instagram, it's blocked out right here.
Oh, got like a little timer.
And when you go in it, look, it just tells me work harder.
Your effort is laughable.
Stop cutting corners and put in the work if you want results. You feel me? And I'm gonna actually show you guys over here too.
That's dope. I like that. I'm not gonna lie.
So if I go on my Instagram, you guys can see my Instagram is blocked off right there. And when I go and press it, it gives me. Look, here's another one. Solve your puzzles, not Instagrams. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt, right? So this app has helped me a lot with cutting out my screen time, because, bro, there were times where, like, let's say I kind of just not doing anything, I'll just hop on Instagram and scroll, waste so much time, right? And my attention is going towards other people and my attention is not going to the things that really matter within my own life in order to elevate and grow, right? And that's why I say attention is currency, because where your attention goes, money flows. You feel me?
Very true. That's very true. I like that.
You know?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm the same way. My screen time is fairly high. It's definitely gotten a lot better over the years, but it was to a point where my screen time would be 16 hours a day and shit like that. It's like, how the fuck? Don't get me wrong. This is like peak trap, right? So like I'm texting, I'm back and forth, but at the same time, if I'm not texting, I'm scrolling through Instagram. So I've never been like a TikTok or like a Vine or all these other apps.
And
like,
for me, it's really been YouTube and Instagram, bro. Swear to God.
So, but I'm bad with it though. I've definitely been bad with it, and it's to the point where I'm sure many people are the same way. Like, you'll go to bed and you'll be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna get in bed early tonight, right? You're in bed at 10 o'clock, whatever's early for you, right? For me, getting in bed early is like, all right, like 9:30, right? Like, I'm an old man, bro. So I get in bed early, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed early. Bro, dude, I'm like, 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. I'm scrolling, right? Then I look back at the time, it's like 11:30. I'm like,
damn.
I'm like, all right, 2 more minutes. Scrolling. Look back, 1 o'clock. I'm like, all right, gotta go. Like, put it down. Like, but it's bad, bro. Like, it catches up to you, and not for nothing, like, it also just builds envy and everything. Like, you see, social media is fake, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, we talk about putting on these stories and everything. Don't get me wrong, my social media, I don't try to fake nothing. I don't do it to like make people jealous or envious or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong, certain things are more aesthetically pleasing in the picture than they might have been in person, right? But like, I know I put on a good show, but I put on a good show because of the fact that you see like more so of the positives. And it's funny because people have told me like, yo, stop posting your losses, stop posting your losses. But I'm like, yo, I don't want to just post me on the jet ski in the sunset and like not talk about how I just did some dumb shit the other day and got in trouble for it. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Like, I try to do both sides, but a lot of people won't do that. You know what I mean? They just show the good side.
You're real.
You're looking at all this and then you're building this like not even building this mindset, like you're building up this jealousy or whatever, however you're viewing it in that moment, right? But it's making you flip your whole thinking of life. Like, you thought you was comfortable, you thought you was doing all right, you thought you was a little more advanced than everybody else and whatnot. Then you're scrolling through all this shit and you're seeing these chains and these cars and these half the time
you're seeing a 15-year-old driving a Lambo with a fat chain.
Bro, you seen all this, with all these little blonde girls next to him and shit. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. You're watching, like, damn, like, I'm almost twice his age. I'm sitting in the crib. I still live with mom and pops. I'm driving a 92 Corolla. Like, all you doing is hating at that point. You feel me? Now you just like, it's flipping your whole thought of comfortability. Crazy. You know what I mean? So all you're doing is hurting yourself, bro. You putting attention to the wrong things, and it's like, it's a lot easier to do that. It's a lot easier for us to do it too, to just watch shit like that, or even if it's something a little bit more beneficial, whatever it is, it's a lot easier to watch something than it is to actually do something, right? Like, it's a lot more boring to sit there and try to build that website for your new brand or try to look into what permits you need to open this business or whatever the case may be. That shit ain't fun, bro. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be fun when everything is all said and done and you're looking back laughing at the time that you sitting there crying about doing whatever it is that you had to do.
Sitting on your boat with bread, with your woman, your kids maybe, chilling.
Definitely.
You're not gonna be mad that you put in that extra
work.
And
dogs. Don't forget the dogs.
And dogs, can't forget the dogs. Can't forget them. Can't forget them.
But yeah, bro, you can't expect things. That ties back into expecting things to come to you. You're sitting there scrolling on Instagram all day, watching these people. Oh yeah, join Amazon FBA. Da-da-da. You watching other people do all this other shit, plumbers, lawnmowers, like just dumb shit that you would never think. Oh, he can make $1 million from it. You're watching them do it, and you're just sitting there watching them do it. You know what I mean? Like, where are you gonna get from doing that? They're not paying you to watch them. They're getting paid for you to watch them. In fact, so it's like they're banking twice on it. They're doing something good for themselves, and they're getting paid on top of that for you watching them, and you're getting nothing from it. So
and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, some scrolling is good, and I say that because it can be motivating. You know, depending on the mindset that you have towards it, right? Like, you know, if you see, for example, like, for me, like before when I first got my shop, I was really young. I was probably one of the youngest maybe shop owners maybe on the island, right? I was only 20 years old, you know, and I kind of had that pride in like, oh, I'm young and I got a shop, but then I would look on IG and then there's this 18-year-old with a shop, you know? For me, I would take that as motivation, like, damn, he's 18 years old, he's up in it right now I gotta drag it now, you know? And that's good, you know, because at the same time it exposes you to what can be done at either young ages or what can be done at older ages or what can be done in general, right? It exposes you to things that are possible. But when you do too much of it, it starts to consume you and you start to get that dopamine hit as if you have it, but you don't have it, you know? So subconsciously, you're kind of satisfying your brain from experiencing it because you quote unquote experienced it through someone else on your phone. But that's not how you want it, right? You want it to be real dopamine, the real feeling of, for example, of being in that Lambo, hearing the downshift, the pops in the tunnel in the middle of Miami, chilling, palm trees in the sky, like, you know, shit like that. Like you want to experience it. You don't want to experience it through the screen, you know, and that's why it's like, yes, it's motivating, but it can also get out of hand very quickly. Because I used to say, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram. My shit is full of motivational quotes, full of luxury, full of motivation. Slowly but surely, the algorithm starts switching into dumb shit.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
Start switching into things that don't really matter. You're just wasting time on there now, you know. And that's why, like, you know, you just gotta kind of be cautious of it and spend more time in the real world getting shit done versus just kind of scrolling, feeling like you're getting shit done.
It's not just with that either. Everything in life pretty much is like, it can either be done too little or too much. You know what I mean? Like, you need to find a good spot for it. Like a sweet spot, they call it, right? Like, even the gym, bro, healthy things can be done too much to where it's not as healthy as you would think it is, right? Yeah. Like, you might think working out 6 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week is healthy for you, but it might not be. You know what I mean? Like, it might be too much for you. Like, everybody is going to be different, right? And certain things are going to be different, but everything can be done too much and too little, right? Find a sweet spot for yourself, like, whether it be for social media, for the gym, for whatever, your eating habits, whatever it is, but it comes down to everything, not just the scrolling. So be mindful of how much you're doing something, no matter what it is, not just, you know what I mean, one specific category in your life.
But with that being said, right, you know, social media is still a very, very powerful platform because you can actually create a pretty solid network on those platforms, right? You can meet people, you can stay connected with people, you can see what people are doing, you can possibly do business with people through social media, right? So it's also a very powerful tool, right? And that's why you got to make sure that you're using it correctly. Again, it all goes back to what we've been preaching this whole time. You got to make sure you're disciplined with it. You got to be in moderation with it. And then, you know, you kind of just got to make sure that your attention is going to the right things when you're on it, right? Using social media to, like I said, network with people, because at the end of the day, your network is your net worth, right? I cannot explain to you how many doors have been opened because I've known people versus me just having money or me just being able to spend
having the
money.
Knowledge. You can't be the smartest person in the world and know everything. You're not going to be that person.
There's doors that you won't be able to get into with just money, and that's where the network comes into play, right? And for me, a relationship is more important than a single dollar, right? Because that relationship can turn whatever dollar amount it is that you're willing to kind of ruin the relationship over. It could turn into 10 times that, 100 times that. And at the end of the day, like we said, money is not everything. It's important, but never more important than a relationship, right? Especially if it's a positive one. We're not talking about the ones where you got to cut it out because it's, you know, toxic or the cases. We're talking about genuine, good relationships with people or business partners, things that, you know, should never really money should never get in the way of. Right, and that's why the network is just too important, man. With the people you know, it can open a whole world for you.
Like he said, your network is your net worth. There's been plenty of doors open for myself just by being like myself, right? Like, the more situations I put myself in to meet new people, the more people I meet, right? Like, knowing the type of person I am, I thrive in environments with people I don't know, right? Like, I tend to be more comfortable with people I don't know than people I know, just because, like, it's so much unknown and it's so much value in certain rooms that you would never know, right? Like, I put myself in an environment like my gym. My gym is expensive as fuck for no reason, right? Out of any membership I've ever had, it's the most expensive one. But I go there because it eliminates, I don't want to say everybody, like, and I don't want to put it this way and make it seem like a negative thing, like it eliminates like the lower class, no, but you're putting yourself around like a higher value crowd, if that makes sense. Like, not everybody's going to spend $300 plus on a gym membership, right? So, like, I walked in there the other day and there's this guy talking to this other guy about setting up his LLC in Dubai and tax-free, and he owns a pharmacy and all this stuff. So, like, me, I just popped in there. I'm like, hey, like, what'd you say you do? And he was like, I sell drugs. And I was like, what you mean? he was like, yeah, like, not like that though, like, I do them legally. And I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, so like what's that? And he's like, oh, like, I own a pharmacy in Brooklyn or whatever, So, like,
that's cool.
Just little things like that, right? Like our UPW event, our Tony Robbins event, you meet certain people and you are able to do certain things just by putting yourself out there, right? A lot of people have told me this in the past, like, oh, your network is your net worth or whatever, and like, watch who you hang yourself around, and like, you'll only be the sum of the people around you, right? So if you're around a bunch of threes, let's just say, right, and you're a 9 or a 10 or however you want to look at it, or whatever, you're 7, whatever it is, right? And I'm not even talking about looks, just like a person overall, right? Scale 1 to 10.
Person overall score,
Personal overall score, right? You're eventually gonna either even them out and you guys will meet somewhere in the middle, or you're just gonna stoop down to them because there's too many of them and you're just the odd one out. You know what I mean? Is how it's gonna go. So I like to put myself in a position where I'm a little uncomfortable, and I like to go around people that are higher than me, not lower than me. I don't like to feel like I'm the highest one in the group. I don't want to be the alpha. Don't get me wrong, that's the type of person I am for sure.
Yeah,
but when it comes to development and everything like that, that's not what I want, bro. I don't want to be the biggest in the group. I don't want to just have my knowledge and I'm feeding it to everybody, nobody's feeding it to me.
Yeah.
I want to get put in a group where it's a bunch of people that have something going. You know what I mean? Like, everybody would tell you that, and you'd be like, yeah, like, I know my one friend, like, they're not the best, but, like, I love them. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Eventually, they're going to fall off. You'll realize it eventually. They will. And
listen, it's okay to love from a distance, too. You know, and
that's the thing. I didn't fall out with everybody.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
you don't got to be a dickhead and not be friends with people.
It's about spending your time wisely, right? The discipline behind it. When you get that call every Friday night to come out to the club and spend that $500 or whatever, are you going to answer the phone? I answer the phone, you know what I mean? Whether it's Monday through Friday or not, I answer the phone, but it's up to me whether I say yes or no, right? Yeah. Nobody's gonna come pull me by my ear like I'm 3 years old and drag me into HOA, right? Yeah. So it's like, that's realistically how it is, bro. Like, bro, it's up to you to choose, you know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta watch who you put yourself around, man. At the end of the day, like, people view certain things as boring, right? Whether it be therapy, like a mentorship, like programs, things like that. Like, people might look at the UPW event and be like, that shit is retarded. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, I'd never go to anything like that. But, like, go there. Go. See how it is. See how you like it. You know, like, I guarantee it'll change your view on world in itself. Like, literally, it's the craziest thing I've ever done. But not even just that. Little things like that. Like, putting yourself in the environments to meet new people, right? Whether it's at a gym, at a club, at a coffee shop, I don't mean a club like that. Like, but like, it's at like a, whatever, like a community club, whatever it is, right? Not a fucking drinking club. Putting yourself in these environments, like, to meet new people, right? We're here at this boat dock. We've met a few people just walking around that boat.
Just here when we're filming our
podcast. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, just putting yourself in certain areas to meet new people, and like I said, being yourself, not putting on that, like, that act or that front, not trying to pretend rich to impress them, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, just meet people that'll help you elevate, right? Like, you want to minimize the risk in your life, and the only way you're going to minimize that risk is not only by going harder, but it's also by meeting people that can help you minimize that risk. Right?
Exactly. And to add on to that, it's like when you're networking to even have the confidence, for example, like he just said, he was chilling there. And this is where were you?
But we was in the locker room.
In the locker room?
Son's just butt naked in the corner. I'm like sitting there looking at it the other way. I'm like, nah, hold on. But I'm listening, bro,
Chilling in the locker room, right? For him to have the confidence, right, to talk to this dude that he has no idea about, right? That says a lot, right? That means he's taking care of himself. That means subconsciously he's doing the right things. That means he has a motivation or a drive to want to learn and do more, right? So it all falls back down to what we were talking about earlier, and doing the small things daily, the small wins, because if he didn't have his small wins that he accomplished, to have the confidence to even talk to somebody and form a new connection, he would have never networked.
I love that, because not for nothing, I wouldn't have networked if I wasn't going to the gym and I wasn't confident in myself and I wasn't trying to do things like this and step out of my comfort zone. I would never said nothing to him. I would have listened to him and I'd be like, all right, kept it pushing, you feel me? That's very true. I didn't think of it like that.
Subconscious, bro. It all ties in. If you, like I said, just keep this in mind. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you constantly think about that, you'll see how true it is. And I live by that. I heard this for the first time, I think like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I swear to God, every single day, that quote is just proven right.
Jason?
Yeah, I think it was Jason.
It had to have been Jason.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Jason. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, my memory's terrible. I wish I knew. I wish I could 100% confirm that.
Shout out to Jason Hardy, our mentor. Love you, my man.
Shout out to Jay, man. But yeah, you know, it's true. Literally, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, man. If you don't even fold your clothes when you put them away, there's probably something else very small that you're probably overlooking and not taking care of, you know. And it's just the truth, man. Like, it's just how life goes.
It all ties back to discipline, man. Your mindset and your determination, discipline, everything along those lines will determine your success. It's all, it's a math equation, bro. School taught us how to be workers. They didn't teach us how to be bosses. But at the end of the day, the structure behind it can be used to your benefit if you know how to use it properly, right? Yeah. Use that math equation and translate it elsewhere. I'm not necessarily adding up numbers, but I know that if I combine these ingredients, right, I'll end up with this cake type of thing. Right?
Exactly.
So build it up, check your boxes off, and continue to improve little by little. It's not gonna come overnight, and allow yourself to win. Stop beating yourself up. Stop letting that one loss take over the thought of your 10 wins, right? Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's okay to win, it's okay to lose.
Yep.
Like, it's both sides are great, and it's all part of the journey. So.
And trading has literally taught me that mindset, because
Nigga done lost a lot, done won a
bro,
lot.
literally, you gotta when it comes to trading, you gotta be able to be so even kill in your mindset that it doesn't matter if you're winning, it doesn't matter if you're losing. You're showing no emotion and you're just cooling. You know, like, yeah, you could get excited when you're winning. It's normal. Making money, it's normal to be excited, right? But it's more so kind of making decisions based off that. You know, you kind of just want to be even killed and follow a system, right? And it just falls back down to discipline, right? And the discipline is what will allow you to have the freedom to live the life that you want to live, right? But to accomplish this freedom, are you willing to sacrifice convenience? And that's actually the next statement, right? To accomplish the freedom you're looking for, are you willing to sacrifice the convenience, right? Because,
Our gimbal went weak dick. Our shit died. So we're gonna have to finish the video like this. I apologize for the change in media or scenery, I guess, however you want to put it. Probably looks a little different, but we'll finish it up, get you guys out of here. I appreciate you if you've stuck in this long. Clearly our gimbal hasn't, so if you have, we love you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, to get back to what we were saying, are you willing to sacrifice the convenience for long-term freedom, right? Are you willing to sacrifice making your bed in the morning, taking a few extra minutes, even if you don't feel like doing it, for that small win? That small win can then build into another small win, which that small win can now build into more momentum and then a larger win, right? Because at the end of the day, the small things that we don't want to do, the inconveniences, the inconvenience of waking up early, going to the gym and beating your body up real quick for an hour, hour and a half, working out, that inconvenience, right? Are you willing to give that up? Are you willing to give up that convenience of being in your bed to build that body? Are you willing to give up that convenience of being able to go home early and chill with some friends versus staying late in the office and building so that you can get that freedom, right? Are you willing to give those things up? Because at the end of the day, sacrifice will be needed to get to those next levels. You cannot get to these beautiful views in life without sacrificing, right? Sacrificing time, effort, money, blood, sweat, tears, all of it, right? You got to be all in, you know, and you got to bet on yourself, you know, and that's the biggest thing, bro. Like,
nobody gonna save you.
You said it, bro. Nobody's coming to save you, bro. I promise you, nobody is. And if they do, you better love that person, because most people won't. But real life, though, like, nobody's really coming to save you, though. You know, you should know that as a man, as a woman, nobody's coming to save you, right? But especially as a man, though, you know, like, nobody's coming to save you, man. Like, I'll keep it real with you. Nobody's coming to make your life better. Nobody's coming to make your life easier. Nobody's gonna come and hand you over $100,000 for doing nothing. None of that. You gotta go get it.
Ain't shit free in this life, bro.
Nothing, man.
Truly, ain't shit free. And yeah, like you said, there's always gonna be sacrifices in life. You're always gonna have to sacrifice something. You might not sacrifice it knowingly, but you're gonna give something up, you know what I mean? Whether it be even just a little bit of time that it is. And to me, time is more important than anything else. So a lot of people tend to trade time for whatever. A lot of you trade time for money, right? You work and you're trading your time for X amount of dollars an hour, right? So you're trading something for money. At the end of the day, you're trading the worst thing you can possibly trade for money. But you know, you gotta start somewhere, and I don't knock it at all, because I work too, and at the end of the day, being a business owner or being any type of boss in general, you're always gonna have to work. It's just a different form of work, that's all. So change your mindset over, you know, and instead of working for somebody, work for yourself. And instead of you taking $1,000 while they're taking $10,000, you take the $10,000 and you pay the $1,000 out to somebody else, right?
Yep, simple as that, man. Try and be on the other side of the coin.
Yep.
That's simple.
But I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much
all
it,
right,
man. Appreciate y'all for staying
Episode
tuned.
3.
This was a pretty insightful episode, I would say. Definitely enjoyed having this conversation and kind of just sharing some pretty cool statements, and you know, kind of giving our take on them and dissecting them, and you guys can kind of see our mindset and how we kind of go ahead and think about life, the things we kind of been through. And we're looking to keep this podcast going, keep the momentum going, And of course, if you guys have any podcast idea that you guys want to hear us talk about,
I've been waiting for the ideas.
yeah, nobody's giving us any
be like, yo,
ideas.
bro, you feel me? Help me so much, and that's what keeps me going, honestly.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. Like on days like today, I don't want to do this shit today. But like once I got here and we started, now I'm happy,
Yeah,
right? Like
happy
I'm glad
as
we
hell.
did it, right? Just like I didn't sleep in, right? I didn't slack today, whatever. Like I'm happy I did. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it no more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
we need ideas. Well, we don't need them. We would like them because we want to be relatable, right?
Yep.
And
We wanna give
also
you guys
some
what you wanna
guests,
see.
man. We definitely want to throw some guests on here. Maybe the next episode we'll have a guest on. We'll
Yeah,
see what we can
definitely.
do about that. But yeah, man, just continue to tune in if you still are, and continue to reach out. Like I appreciate the little messages that I do get and things like that, and I'm
Facts.
sure you do as well.
Facts. Appreciate that to the max.
But yeah, man, we don't only do this for you guys. We do it for ourselves too. So if nobody watches this video, I'm still happy we did it.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean?
That's a fact. These conversations are therapeutic, man. Truly.
At the end of the day, it's all about what you want in life and how, you plan on getting there. It's not going to come for you, or it's not going to come to you.
Literally.
So,
Yo, peace out, guys. See you on the next one. Let's get it.